So I took the again, it was almost a situationist kind of like act of subversion, where I went into the MoMA bookstore and also the Whitney bookstore, um, and I've always been interested in reproductions and reproductions of reproductions, and so because that's how most of us experience artworks. Our art experience is through reproduction, more so now on the screen, but also through postcards and catalogs and books. And so I wanted to share my work through the medium of reproduction with, or in the context of other artworks. So I reproduced the postcards for MoMA and for Whitney exactly. Got the typography exact, and the croppings and the proportions and the sizes, and the cardstock, and the weight of the paper, matched it all exactly. And made my own postcards of my own work and reinserted those into their bookstores, so that I could share my work through reproduction. No, in fact, even like towards the end of the 90s, when I moved to New York in 1994, and was painting and in group shows, and sharing the work with friends, and and toward the end of the 90s, I decided I'm not going to have like an email list anymore. I'm not going to send out kind of a self-promotion announcement every time I have a show or do a project or invite people to something, because it looked corny to me, and it looked just kind of silly. And I'm also very careful about making anybody I know, or even strangers, feel obliged to attend something. And I stopped doing that, and I just have since just relied on galleries and institutions I work with for them to do their advertising or promotion. And I've never joined any social networking sites. I've never accepted any of the invitations, and it's just not something I'm just not something I'm interested in. You know, maybe because I'm a born contrarian of sorts, and anything that's popular I don't want to do. And if everyone's doing it, then count me out. So maybe that's the reason why. But also, I just don't have time for that. I just want to concentrate on my work. That's the hardest. That's the hardest thing for me, is just to be able to work. That's all I want to do, is just work. Well, not for me. Um, I certainly like working with galleries, and I like working with really good dealers, and I like working with institutions, and I've come to value, what they offer, which is um, uh, primarily management. Whether it's the management of an individual sale, or management of collectors and buyers and institutions. I'm trying more and more to get to a place where I'm just concentrating on my work. And I have no problem working with dealers or galleries who earn their percentage, and primarily for the most part it's 50%, usually a 50-50 cut. And I have no problem with that at all, if it's earned, and in most cases it is. Yeah, yeah, because it allows me to do what I need to be doing. I do my part and work with the gallery so they do their part. I don't really have time to entertain clients or collectors, or get involved in sales. but I guess the solution could be I have an internal salesperson or staff or something like that. But it just doesn't interest me. It's not something I need to be part of my studio practice. And not being motivated by money helps me steer clear of that financial incentive to sell your own work. It just doesn't interest me.